Oh boy. I have a topic for y'all. Why should you stop settling for your job? That is something that a lot of people go through every day because they have to go to work, they have to eat, they have to feed their families. And unfortunately, that is something that we have to do to survive. Maybe you thought about it. Maybe you want to not work and work for yourself, or you want to get a career and do something in your field that you love doing. Just something to think about. So I want to give you 10 reasons why you should stop settling for your job. Let's get to it. So number one, you deserve way, way, way more than just getting by. Life is too short. You spend 40 hours a week working, feeling stuck, being bored, and undervalued. That is not the way to live, to be honest with you. It's just not. You want fulfillment, because that actually does matter. You are not meant to work at a job all the time. The society has us working, and they teaches us how to do things their way instead of teaching you things that should matter is ownership, leadership, something that a lot of them have but don't want you to have. So I'm telling you, you deserve way more than just sitting back here feeling unappreciative. But trust me, I know how that feels. I know exactly what it is that people go through. I worked airport job for 8 years straight. I didn't get no advancement other than supervisor position with a few dollars more. And by the time I got to the 8th year to finally get my 2-week vacation, I got laid off. I'm gonna tell you, it is not worth it. And now I have to start all over again. So ownership is key. I think you should definitely do that. Consider that. Definitely consider that. Number two, settling leads to burnouts. Now, I know for me, man, staying at a job for a long time, it's like you stop caring, you start thinking that everybody at the job is just out to get you. You feel like you're underappreciative, like I said. Like it drains your motivation, and it kind of takes away from your pride and your mental health. I believe that you really need to consider that, because that is a thing. You could get burnt out. That's definitely a thing. You're more likely to feel tired, more resentful, and you just, less productive over time. I think that part there is very important, because you definitely need your mental health. You definitely need to be productive, and you definitely don't need to be tired. So I'm just saying it does leads to burnouts. Just throwing it out there. Number three, you're not growing. So basically, when you stuck in one position and you feel as though that you're not getting that type of challenge, you're not getting any type of recognition, growth is definitely key. You can't just sit there, just be stagnant all day. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that if you don't get that promotion, if you don't get that raise, or you don't get something that you think you deserve, that definitely takes a toll of your mental health. So you're not growing is something that you should definitely think about, really, really think about. And number four, I could say that it can lower your confidence. The longer you stay at a place, the more you feel less confident of yourself. It's just that you kind of forget what your capabilities are, and you just get stuck in just one place. And that is something that you don't want to push yourself into. I remember, like I said, being at the airport since 2009. I had a bunch of positions. But for some odd reason, during that time, growing up into my 30s and everything, I kind of regret not finishing, school and, doing things at an earlier age. I was just stuck, just wanting to get money, saving money. And like I said, it didn't really get me nowhere. So definitely consider that. It definitely could lower your confidence. That's a major mental health thing that you can push yourself through. Number five, it blocks better opportunities. Now, I know that a lot of times people are good at something. Like I could be a little personal here. I'm good at cybersecurity. I'm good at, just IT stuff in general. Now, it was a time where as though I didn't even think that it was something major to me. I used to always buy computer parts. I would put computers together. I would read up on tech news and, trying to find the new gadgets, the new GPUs and everything else like that, new CPUs, whatever that's out. And that was my passion. But just being at a place where as though it kind of blocked me from actually finishing that IT school at the time, or doing something that I really wanted to do, it kind of takes a toll of your, mental So I would say, yes, that would definitely be one of the things that you need to really consider. Being stagnant and settling for just that one job, it definitely blocks your opportunity, because, hey, you could go out there and actually become whatever you want to become, you know, without that job being in the way. And I understand people got bills to pay, people got stuff to do, like me, I understand that, but just consider that that is something that you have to really think about. You got to sit down, inhale, exhale, and just think about that part there. This here, number 6, I'm trying to tell you, you're wasting your most valuable resource, and that is your time. Your time is valuable. I can't stress this enough. I believe in that wholeheartedly. When you sit back here and you just let things by being in one place, you don't want to move, you don't want to do anything, you lose so much opportunity. You lose so much building that time for yourself to grow. And I could tell you, comfort today is a cost deeply tomorrow. It definitely is. You cannot bring back time. So that is something that you should really think about and reconsider. Number 7 is your passion and your purpose. It matters. It definitely does matter. You know what I'm saying? Your job doesn't have to be perfect, but it should kind of align with your time and what it is that your strength, your values, you know, and your long-term goals. Because if you don't have those things, I can promise you, you'll just be working for nothing. It feel like you're just not going anywhere. And that's the thing. You want to understand that too. It definitely aligns with your, it just has to align. It has to make sense to you to actually have your passion and your purpose, because that's all you have. And number 8, settle in, normalize mediocrity. Just being at a place, tolerating the same thing over and over and over again at this job can actually bleed through to your personal life, your relationships, you know, your health, your ambitions, everything else like that. You know, just got to be mindful of that, because that actually does play a pivot role into your personal, everyday, daily life. And number 9, there are more options than you think. I'm trying to tell you, there's work from home jobs, there's freelance jobs, there's just new industries that's blooming every single day. You have so many opportunities out there, you know, if you apply yourself and you're willing to look. And your dream job, I mean, can be yours. You know, it can literally be yours. You just have to apply yourself. You have to understand that there's more options out there than what you think. Just working this regular 9 to 5, everything else just pretty much seem like it's far away. And you don't want to have that mindset. You want to pretty much keep going, keep pushing until you get to your final goal. It's not impossible. It's really not impossible. And number 10, last but not least, you owe it to yourself to go out there and at least see what's out there. You leave your job is not the right thing, but it has to be a choice. It has to be something that you really want to do. And you say, you know what? I'm packing it up. I don't want to do this no more. I gotta go. I gotta venture out. I gotta see what else is out there. The first step into doing that is actually believing that you can. When you believe that you can, you'll be able to do it. Like I said recently, I lost my job and I thought it was the end of the world. And then I had to think about it. I had to say, you know what? This is not where I want to be. You know, this is something that I don't want to just keep being stuck on, just going from job to job to job to job to job, trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to survive. That is no way of living at all, especially in this day and age. So I suggest you take these 10, statements as key, at least to get you to understand settling just for one place, working this just one job is never going to be good for your mental health. It's never going to be good for your everyday life. And I just hope you take this and just reconsider it. Think about it. I did. I had to think about it. And I'm still trying to make moves and get to the point where as though I'm at a right place. But thank you for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Just I know somebody out there that may need some help. So, just help yourself. Help them too. Anyway, I'm out.